And now we got to talk about the Clemson fans before we move on to Ohio State. And I know this is a long video, but look, I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. Clemson fans. You know, I love college football, and there's a million things about it that I love, way too many to list. One of the things that I love the most about college football is tradition. The tradition that's associated with college football. And over the last 10 years, a lot of those traditions are kind of being taken away from us. And some of them I've been okay with. I was okay with going to a playoff. At first, I was against playoff expansion. Now I've kind of warmed up to the idea. I sort of can see some benefits, right? I love tradition. Clemson has, without a doubt, this isn't even up for debate. Don't even bother typing other schools' dumb traditions into comments. They pale in comparison. There's nothing you could tell me to change my mind. Clemson has the absolute dumbest, most embarrassing tradition in all of college football, and it's rushing the field when you lose. Optically, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. It is absolutely pathetic that y'all do that. And this is something that is solely on the fans. I'm not saying this affects how many games you win or lose. That's not what I'm saying. It's got nothing to do with that. But do you have any idea what a laughingstock you are when you lose a game at home and storm the field? I don't care what you call it. It's not storming the field, it's meeting at the paw. I don't care what you call it. Meeting at the paw to give each other a bunch of emotional support hugs, patting each other on the back, telling them it's going to be okay, running around to find Dabo Swinney and whatever players you can, patting them on the head, congratulating them for trying real hard in a loss. It's the most, it is the saddest thing in all of college football that you idiots do that. I could be the world's biggest Clemson fan. If I'm at a Clemson home game and they lose, the last thing I'm doing is storming the field like some kind of a fucknut. That's what you look like when you do that. It's so goddamn dumb. It is so ridiculous. And then on top of that, you got the bad look, the bad optics of when that happens, you idiots aren't the only ones that go on the field. Guess who else goes on the field? The other team's fans. You've got South Carolina fans storming your field because you do it. Win or lose. We meet at the paw, win or lose. Well, win then. It's bad enough that y'all do that when you beat a 2-10 team. That's embarrassing. Watching the end of watching Clemson beat, I don't know, who's the worst team Clemson played at home this year? Whoever, it doesn't matter. Let's just throw a random name out there. Let's say Duke. Let's say Duke one year is 0-8. They come and play at Clemson. Clemson wins 55-0. These idiots rush the field after the game. Do you have any idea how dumb that looks? Do you have any idea how dumb that looks when you rush the field after a win against Duke or some terrible team? Okay, now multiply that by 1 billion. That's how you look when you let South Carolina come into your backyard, humiliate you, and then while people are watching the end of the game, people are watching the Dabo crybaby interview on the field with the reporter at the end, and there's Clemson fans standing right behind them with their head down like this. And then the camera pans back and they're just pouring out of the stands, Clemson fans onto the field after a loss. It is the saddest, most ridiculous. You all ought to be ashamed of your damn selves for doing that. I'm not kidding. I'm not trolling. Rushing the field after a loss is the absolute dumbest tradition in all of football. Dumber than rubbing that stupid pet rock y'all have before the game. Way dumber. Lots of teams have dumb traditions like that where they touch a sign or whatever. I don't know. Rushing the field after a loss. My God. I don't see how y'all go out in public without just being ashamed of yourselves. Rushing the field after a loss? Y'all, please stop that.